ShinRobjira.
Just wanted to say real quick, Hiya Toys provided me with a copy of this here figure. It is because of them that this video is possible. Thank you so much, Hiya, and thank you so much, Hiya. Let's get started. Much like the original Skullcrawler from Hiya, number 10 over here is going to be standing not too tall. And much like the original from Hiya, there really isn't too much different going on. From the torso and the ball joints and swivels and bends ins and outs over there, to that of the arms and all of its many swivels, bends, and whatever have you, all the way to the bendy wire in the tail, responsive as ever, high quality feeling as ever. I have nothing really new to add here. It's still a fantastic little figure that has a great sense of movement, but Hiya Toys did some retooling here, mostly in the head and the neck areas, where the figure is now able to look down at a rather nice angle and look up as much as the original did. The different segments of the necks can still make full rotations and everything. I've done it a few times, the paint hasn't scraped off. So the figure quite literally just got better, and of course, the mouth can still open and close just like the original did. The membranes on the inside of the mouth are now going to be a much more sturdier rubber, definitely not as haphazardly done as the original. This here, this that, and now we're actually going to get tongue articulation. It's not going to be the craziest amount of tongue articulation, but that does play into one of the accessories that this figure comes with. That being this here tongue, this longer, more wilder looking tongue. It's a very easy thing to do. You just pull the other tongue out, you place the other tongue in, make sure you give it a little bit of pressure on the push down, and make sure that it's situated back into the hood of this area in the mouth, because if you don't, it's really not going to stay in place. And with that being said, and all nice and covered here, posability is just as fantastic as the original. Nothing feels restrictive, nothing feels like a load of crap. The figure itself doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart or deteriorate in any way. The figure is now perfected, and I'm really hoping that Hiya goes back to the Skull Devil, giving it these upgrades to the innards of the mouth and maybe even a removable, switchable, swappable tongue. Number 10 essentially fixes what the other figure kind of dropped the ball on, and even then it wasn't that big of a ball drop. I quite love it, I have fun with it, and now it is time to talk about paint and detail, because save for those few upgrades and new inclusions, this is a repaint figure. Right off the bat, this figure is very glossy, and it's going to be like that from the tip of its snout all the way to the tip of its tail. I do remember number 10 being somewhat grody and grimy looking, but I don't watch Godzilla vs. Kong too much, so I could be wrong. Yeah, alright, yeah. So right at the tip of the head, we are going to get a similar color for the skin as compared to the original. Don't worry, we'll get to that. But most importantly, we're going to get this very, very fleshy, vibrant red. Just look at that, shiny, reflective, giving off good looks of the detailing, and it's kind of gonna morph into this yellowish orange as we move throughout the back. But I really do enjoy the color of the tip of the mouth over here, moving into the more fleshier red. I love how it just morphs. It's not just this crazy cut. You can actually see it gradually becoming more and more red, and I really like how it just becomes more fleshier. It does kind of just shift from this tone of red to this tone of red, yeah, just a bit, but the yellow and red will mix and become a bit of an orange, moving into just a combination of reds and yellows. It looks like an infection, to be completely honest, but I think it really, really works here. Granted, this figure really didn't need to do too much in order to differentiate itself from the original Skullcrawler, but what we get here with these different colors of paint and the glossier base, oh man, I think it looks great. The detail is right on par, right in front of your eyeballs, and yes, just a very, very big yes. Now moving into the tail, the brighter colors are gonna kind of fade off into a darker red where they become a lot less noticeable, but you will see little inklings of red on the barbed areas of the tail over here. Even more so on the opposing side, to the point where it almost kind of looks like blood. And that kind of fits, given what happens to poor old number 10. I don't support it. Ooh. How very Shin Godzilla-esque. So moving up from this very Shin Godzilla-esque looking, oh my god, we have the underbelly paint, which is going to differ from the original Skullcrawler. Oh my god, it's almost uncomfortable. It's all sinewy and beautifully detailed, xenomorph-esque in some areas. Not quite sure what's going on there, but it doesn't appear to be paint, or unless it is, but it's not getting in the way of any movement, but yeah. Oh, I really do love that, and I love how the detail is on full display here. Moving into the neck, we can see a gradual shift from that underbelly paint to the tip of the mouth paint, I should say, that greenish, diseased-looking yellow. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this is the most flawless, perfect transition of colors. I mean, this piece right here does kind of start to morph into what we're seeing over here, and yeah, there's a bit of a colored thing going on there. Just like the very top of the figure, moving in from the head to the neck. Again, not perfect, not horrible. Definitely not horrible. Moving into the arms, right up here at the shoulder blade, it's going to be your basic skin tone going on here, and then it's going to get rather murky, rather bloody looking. And it's here where I'm starting to see a bit of SH Monster Art Shin Godzilla flashbacks. Granted, I'm not 100% knowledgeable of how this is painted or why this might look a bit on the messier side. I mean, at least over here, there's an obvious reason. I mean, it's part of the underbelly and everything, but over here, not too sure, but it is nice to see the reds in between the little wrinkles of the skin. Yeah, not sure if that's intended or not, but look at this. Bloody and sharp. We'll see a bit more of that on the forearms, where it really starts to look more like a wound than anything else, and I dig that very much so. And now we can move into the hands, or the claws, and they're going to retain a lot of what we just saw on the forearms and biceps. It's really very fleshy and uncomfortable looking, which means I like it. And on the bottom over here, I mean, the detail is lovely, but the color choice, my god, it's like an unripe tomato, or a fully rotten tomato. There we go. I dig it. I dig it quite a bit. I don't remember if we actually saw this much of number 10 in the movie before it got split down the middle. But the colors we are seeing here on the arms alone, I very much do dig. Now, say ah. Oh yeah, the eye's gonna be a darker color this time. Same goatish looking pupils though. Looking at the inside of the mouth, I mean, it's an array of gloss and wash and teeth. And the teeth are nice and dirtied up, clearly showing use. I think they look pretty good. No more gold teeth on the roof of the mouth though, like the original had. But no tears in these here membranes, and everything is properly situated and looking lovely. And here on the standard tongue, you can kind of see that black wash making a return, but let's just rip that out. And as you can see right here, more of that wash is going to be painted and situated under the tongue. And the alternate forked ET ouch tongue over here is going to be looking the same. Yes, on both sides, if you could believe it. Both sides of both tongues. Okay, get in there. Ugh. There we go. I love how the alternate tongue kind of just hangs out of its mouth when the mouth is closed. I think that's kind of low-key adorable. And that is essentially going to do it for paint and detail. I really do dig this figure quite a lot. There might be a few people not exactly all that impressed with the red to orange to yellow and ratio on top and the overall coloration going on the underside of the body moving into the throat, but I'm going to give it a solid start in terms of paint and detail. Again, this figure really didn't need to do much in comparison to the original. Speaking of which, if you couldn't already tell just how different these two are from one another, now I'm sure you can. The gross and grimy, wetter look of number 10 versus Skull Devil is a really big change. One that I wasn't really counting on being all that impressive or something. And from the tops of their heads to the highest arches of their backs moving into their tails, I mean, they're just so blitheringly different from one another. But Hiya, please, what you did here with this guy slash gal over here, I want that to happen. I need that to happen. Oh yeah, we went from 2 major pieces for the heads and necks to 3. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 3. So basically, Hiya, do everything you did here with this paint job, and we will love you even further. I didn't mean for it to look like they were kissing. Shokugan, Monster, Movie, King, HG, D+, Finger Puppet, Hiya Goji, Hayamuto, Hiya Dana Scully, Best Boy. And here's the box. It's blue. It's draped in clouds and mist. We get some promotional photos of this here figure right here. It's a nice Hiya box. It's a Hiya box. It's a box. There's nothing really all that crazy about it. You cut the tape, you open it up, you take the figure out. You're good. You're done. It's nice. So essentially, it's got all the articulation of the original, but better. Got a brand spanking new paint job that makes it look grimy and sinewy and awesome. And now we have tongue articulation plus a tongue accessory. Yeah, I'm feeling 5 out of 5, even though I only operate on 3s for the most part. I love little number 10 over here, and I have nothing much else to say. Couldn't recommend it any higher. Thank you all so much for watching, and when next we meet, Bandai Movie Monster Series Godzilla 1954 70th Anniversary version. It's the same as the 2019 one, just with a new tag. And then, Egg! Peace.